There you are. Welcome back to Photos with Yanni. This episode, we're going to talk about how to take some awesome wildlife pictures. So, without further ado, let's do this. A couple of the questions that I usually get is how can I become better in my wildlife shots? So that's a falcon actually. So that's one of the questions that I would try to help people out. And I made this video. I'm doing this video just to help you guys out, and hopefully this is going to help you up your wildlife. So without further ado, let's get started. The number one thing that a lot of people neglect to mention in wildlife shots is you have to have the right lens for the proper usage. You can't go out there with a lens, and I'm not talking about like a cheap lens. You need the right focal length, because after a certain point you're gonna need to crop. So if you have a lens that's pretty short, essentially every single time you crop out there, you're creating, all kinds of headaches for your final image. So the number one thing, bring the right lens for the right job. Number two thing is increase your shutter speed. You want to freeze motion, and one of the things that's going to help you isolate your subject from the rest of the shot is increasing your shutter speed. For example, this image right here, I'm going to put the settings below the images too so you can see them. Increasing your shutter speed eliminates any kind of blur, any kind of motion. So you're going to have a very, very nice bird or animal or whatever completely isolated from the background. That's actually a pretty good help. So that's the number two thing. Number three, bump up your ISO. I know a lot of people are going to tell you got to keep the ISO low, but when you're increasing shutter speed just to freeze the motion, you have to compensate for something. You're not going to have enough light. So essentially, the way that I shoot is I shoot on auto ISO capped at 6400. The camera is choosing the ISO for me. I found it to work out. Maybe it will work out for you as well. You don't know. But that generally has helped me out a lot. Number three, aperture. You want to keep your aperture maybe at about 5.6 to 8 because you want your subject to be isolated from the background and pop up. But at the same time, you want to bring it to the forefront. This is what I usually use to shoot with. I use a 70 to 200 f2.8 L2 lens, and I use a 2x teleconverter. So essentially I have a 140 to 400 f5.6. This has helped me tremendously in all my wildlife shots. It's like having a 100 to 400 with better autofocus. And lastly, use a steady hand. Use a tripod, a monopod, whatever you have to do, whatever you have to use to get the perfect shot. After all, the purpose of this is to have fun. Capture as many shots as you can, get some wildlife shot, maybe get something else that's out there, and have fun. The newer cameras, especially the mirrorless cameras, are really great for getting wildlife shots because they have the incredible autofocus system. What's that? Something jumped up there. Maybe I should take a picture of it. Anyway, until next time, this is Photos with Yanni. Thanks for sticking around for this really, really short tutorial. I'm about to start making some more videos now, so I'll see you soon.